Ambassador Zekthar's chitinous plates clicked nervously as he observed the human delegation through the reinforced transparasteel of the briefing chamber. The 12 humans sat casually in their environmental suits, some actually laughing as the mission parameters were displayed on the holographic projector. "This cannot be correct," Zekthar muttered to his aide, a young Valaxian whose purple skin had paled to an alarming shade of lavender. "Show me the readings again." The hologram flickered, displaying Kepler 438c in all its terrifying glory. Surface temperatures ranged from 89 degrees Celsius during the endless polar nights to 127 degrees Celsius in the equatorial zones. Atmospheric pressure was 12 times that of standard galactic norm. The air itself was barely breathable, 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and trace amounts of gases that were toxic to most species. Massive storms regularly spawned with wind speeds exceeding 300 kilometers per hour. "The gravity is 1.7 times galactic standard," the aide whispered, his voice trembling. "The electromagnetic radiation levels would kill most beings within hours. And the native wildlife." He shuddered, unable to continue. Zekthar had seen the reports. Creatures with razor-sharp claws and teeth, predators that could track prey across vast distances, organisms that had evolved in conditions that made most habitable worlds look like gentle nurseries. The Galactic Council had been desperate. 3 previous expeditions to Kepler 438c had ended in complete disaster. The hegemony forces, despite their advanced technology and warrior culture, had lasted 4 days. The scholarly Eterni, with their environmental adaptation gear, had managed 6 days before their rescue beacons activated. The cybernetically enhanced Nexari hadn't even made it past the first storm system. Kepler 438c was supposed to be their death sentence. Not for the humans, of course, even the Council wasn't that cruel. It was meant to be a humbling experience, a way to show these newcomers to galactic society that the universe contained challenges that couldn't be overcome with primitive determination and stubborn pride. The lead human, Captain Sarah Chen, raised her hand. "Excuse me, Ambassador, but did you say the expedition duration was only 30 days? Zekthar's translator struggled with what sounded like disappointment in her voice. "Yes, Captain Chen. 30 days is the maximum any species has attempted on Kepler 438c. We felt it was ambitious." "Could we possibly extend that to 90 days? Chen asked, glancing back at her team. "Some of our people were hoping to do some hiking in those mountain ranges you showed us." The aide's translator actually sparked and went offline. Zekthar felt his breathing apparatus malfunction for a moment. "Hiking?" he stammered. "Well, yes. And Dr. Rodriguez here was excited about the storm systems. Apparently they're similar to weather patterns we get back on Earth during hurricane season. She was hoping to get some surfing in during the electromagnetic disturbances." Dr. Rodriguez, a woman with sun-weathered skin and bright eyes, waved enthusiastically. "The wave formations during those Category 5 storms look incredible, and the electrical activity should make for some amazing aurora equivalents." "Surfing," Zekthar repeated flatly. "You want to surf on the Deathworld." "Oh, and Jenkins, over there, brought his rock climbing gear," Chen continued, pointing to a massive human who was examining the holographic mountain displays with obvious excitement. "Those cliff faces look challenging, especially with the wind shear and electrical storms." Jenkins grinned, revealing an alarming number of teeth. "The lower gravity in the polar regions should make for some interesting free climbing opportunities, and I've always wanted to try ice climbing during a magnetic storm." The briefing room fell silent except for the quiet humming of life support systems. Zekthar looked around at his staff, all of whom appeared to be in various states of shock or disbelief. "Captain Chen," he began slowly, "are you certain you understand the conditions on Kepler 438c? The temperature extremes alone." "Oh, that's nothing," interrupted Sergeant Martinez, a compact woman with scars visible even through her suit's fabric. "I did survival training in both the Sahara and Antarctica. This looks like a nice middle ground." "Middle ground," Zekthar whispered. "The atmospheric pressure is a bit high," admitted Lieutenant Thompson, "but nothing worse than deep-sea diving. and the oxygen content is actually pretty good, better than some mountains back home. Dr. Patel, the team's biologist, leaned forward eagerly. What we're really excited about is the local ecosystem. Creatures that evolved in those conditions must have fascinating adaptations. Are there any apex predators we should be particularly excited to observe? Excited to observe, Zekthar repeated, his translator now making concerning clicking sounds. Plus, Chen added with a smile that somehow managed to be both reassuring and terrifying, the team voted, and we decided this beats our last vacation spot. Last year, Command sent us to a relaxing resort world that turned out to be mostly paperwork and diplomatic meetings. At least this place sounds like it'll be fun. The ambassador's aide finally found his voice. Captain, perhaps you don't understand. This isn't a vacation. This is considered by most galactic species to be certain death. We're sending you there. Because... Chen held up a hand. Because you want to see if we can handle extreme conditions and adapt to hostile environments, right? Don't worry, we get it. Earth's basically been preparing us for this our whole lives. Earth? Zekthar managed. Yeah, you know. Hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, volcanoes, blizzards, heat waves, flash floods, wildfires, avalanches. Chen counted off on her fingers. Most of us grew up dealing with at least a few of those regularly. Oh, and the wildlife. Bears, sharks, venomous snakes, spiders, jellyfish, crocodiles. She paused, noticing the increasingly distressed expressions of the alien delegation. Look, we appreciate the opportunity, but you really don't need to worry about us. We'll be fine. Might even extend the stay if the conditions are as interesting as they look. As the human delegation filed out to prepare for departure, chatting excitedly about equipment lists and who would get first chance at photographing the lightning storms, Zekthar slumped in his chair. His aide approached cautiously. Sir? What? Should we tell the council? Zekthar watched through the transpersteel as the humans began unpacking what appeared to be recreational equipment, surfboards, climbing ropes, and cameras, alongside their survival gear. Tell them, he said slowly, that we may need to recalibrate our understanding of what constitutes a death world. 3 months later, the humans sent a request to extend their stay another 6 months. They'd discovered that the planet's extreme seasons created perfect conditions for a sport they called storm chasing, and apparently the local apex predators made excellent hiking companions once you learned to communicate properly. The council quietly reclassified Kepler 438c as a human recreational facility and began the uncomfortable process of revising their entire xenobiological threat assessment protocols. After all, if humans considered death worlds to be vacation spots, what did that make Earth?